So far in the class, we've talked about using Google Scholar to find academic articles. We've also talked about the Clark Memorial Library's Discovery Service. Those two search options, they just kind of shoot out terms amongst numerous databases, and they return all kinds of different results. So you will receive results for everything that's out there. Sometimes several thousands of articles can come back in a search. What I'm going to show you today is how to use the A to Z list of research databases that's also offered through the Clark Memorial Library to kind of refine your search. So instead of searching all of the databases like the Discovery Service does, the A to Z list of research databases tells the search engine, I want to focus on just this database. And often these databases are assigned to different majors or disciplines or different fields of study. So let's get in there and take a look. If you're watching this video right after watching the video about using the Discovery Service, you want to get back to the library home page. So you click Library Home, and to get to the A to Z list of research databases, you scroll down to A to Z list of databases. And here you have, my goodness, there are so many databases that the library is kind of hooked up to. Some are unique to specific journals, so something like AJN, the American Journal of Nursing, that database is just going to search that specific journal. But then they have other databases that search numerous journals. So let's see, let me find one. APA PsycInfo. So that's going to be a number of different journals that are about psychology that are all kind of aggregated underneath one database. So you would search that if you want to find information about psychology. Art and Architecture Complete. Again, a number of different journals that are about art and architecture. You can search all of them by taking a look at this one database. Because I teach and research in a specific area, I know that there are 3 to 4 databases that are pretty helpful for the work that I do, so I go to them very quickly when I start a research project. If you're thinking about a major or you're just getting started in a major in a discipline, one thing that you might want to do is to learn about the different databases that we have here and that are a good fit for your discipline. So if you want to pause this video and kind of take a look around, they're literally labeled A to Z. That's not all that helpful, but you might be able to use the All Subjects to kind of scroll down to see if there's something that might be a good fit for you. Some of them are lined up with specific disciplines like business, allied health sciences. We have departments that are in those areas. We have mathematics department and natural sciences department, nursing, social sciences, so on and so forth. But you might take a look in there and see if there's a database or databases that might be a good fit for your major. Once you've looked around a little bit for something that's close to your major, you'll now want to start thinking about your specific project for the annotated bibliography and literature review. So that is going to take a little bit of browsing because, again, these are listed A to Z. Something that is in A might be helpful for sociology or something like that. So take a look around. The All Subjects using this drop-down menu can be pretty helpful as well. So I'm going to go to social sciences, and I'm going to work with a project about harm reduction. Harm reduction is a way of thinking about addressing addiction and issues related to addiction, where we try to do as little harm as possible. So like needle exchanges are a tactic for harm reduction. Instead of saying we're not going to offer exchange programs or we're going to criminalize people that use needles, and if they are in possession of needles, that's a problem. It kind of acknowledges that folks are addicted and diseases can spread through needles, so we're going to offer a needle exchange program to, again, reduce harm. It's controversial in some communities, but in other communities where it's been embraced, they've seen a reduction in diseases and actually more contact with social services to get folks off of addiction. So that's the topic that I'm kind of interested, that I'd like to learn a little bit more about. So I went in social sciences because when I've read, I've noticed that it's been social scientists that have started to have those conversations, or they've been holding those conversations, particularly people that are in criminal justice. So I might take a look in sociological collection. And I want to start looking in there, and let's say I want to start looking for harm reduction. So something to note here. in harm reduction, sociological collection, under 600 articles. When we used the Discovery Service, there were, I believe, around 150,000 articles that were returned. So that's a huge difference. I have the time, I think, to skim a good number of these articles. I don't have the time to go through 160-ish academic articles or to skim the titles. So again, we can kind of use some of the features that were also in the search field that we saw, or in the results that we saw in the Discovery Service. So I just want to look at scholarly articles, peer-reviewed journals. I want just full text. And now we're down to 270. Again, we're kind of limiting things down. And if we limit things down further based on date, this field kind of got started in the 1980s due to the AIDS epidemic, and needles that were exchanged during the AIDS epidemic were infecting a lot of folks with AIDS, and that's why harm reduction became such a prominent scholarly conversation. So 263 articles, yeah, I think I can start wading my way through that. If I focus on more specific, let's say just the last 10 years, gosh, I can get through that. I can take a look at 180, particularly if I start taking a look at different subjects that are within that: HIV prevention, descriptive statistics, interview methodologies, things like that. So again, the A to Z list of research databases, great way to kind of limit your search. I hope you see here that using the A to Z list of research databases is a great way to kind of focus your search in a particular area to get really good discipline-specific results. It's not to say that you can't use different databases. It's not to say that you can't start with the Discovery Service. But once you start kind of picking up some speed and getting some sense of what exactly your topic is and the things that you're interested in, using these specific databases can be very handy to kind of limit your search so you're not overwhelmed with tons of research that's out there. So for today, you have a little mini assignment before you start to look at annotated bibliography entries and start to write annotated bibliography entries. I'd like you to email your instructor to tell them a little bit about the databases that you saw that might be a good fit for your discipline, and that might be a good fit for your annotated bibliography work. If you could also write them and tell them a little bit about how you plan to store your articles that you find, I think that'd be helpful as well. I think your instructor is going to have some good feedback about how you might go about doing that. You might also have some good tips that can help your instructor see, here are the different ways that my students are storing work. I'd be interested to hear that as well. So, mini assignment, email your instructor, let them know what databases you found that you think are a good fit for your discipline and that are a good fit for the project that you're working on, and maybe say a little bit about how you store articles that you find when you use the library website. That's it for today. Now you're going to write 2 annotated bibliography entries, one off of an article that you found using the Discovery Service, and the second one about an article that you found using the A to Z list of research databases. I hope this was helpful. Take care.